Check your gear. Shoes tied, zippers up.
Get ready, people.
Okay, this is a good amount to talk about, so let's go. Okay, Metro Last Light is pretty much the continuation of the story of Arthur, the Devil Child. Just a happy 20-something-year-old skipping around the wasteland. Except now he has joined the Order, the people from whom at the last game that he was helping. Well, after surviving those damned amoebas, they were able to secure the military station D6. Now, the importance of this fact is the fact that D6 has a fuck ton of military hardware and supplies to defend himself with. So now everyone in this post-apocalyptic wasteland living in the metro, they are after a piece of the pie and they're bearing down their fangs at the Order in order to try and take control of it. Now, if you're wondering why can't they just defend themselves, the Order, although they are very skilled, are very few. I'm talking about like 100 members of well-trained soldiers, but the other factions have like 1,000 members, so it can be very hard for them. So there you are, I caught you up from the last game, and thus sets the premise of the new game, because the human race is still struggling to survive in the metro, and it's easy to say that he who controls D6, for a very large part, controls the future of the human race as they know it. So here we are, sometime after the first game, and Arthur has joined the Order with his little buddies, and is now living with the consequences of destroying the Dark Ones in the last game. But it seems that a baby Dark One has survived the crispy burning and thus sets off the adventure of this game. They send out Arthur and his little tomboy girlfriend to finally kill the last little baby Dark One. And honestly, it's kinda cute in a disgusting face-eater kinda way. Anyway, if you played the last game, you know it's time for Arthur to get caught and for people to die around him. Welcome back to the metro. This place is depressing as shit, and I fucking love it for it. A notable thing that has improved from the last game is the graphics. All the character models look much better than before, except for two children in particular that look and sound absolutely atrocious. I don't know what the hell was going on here, but they look like little shrunk down adults. They even have these squeaky ass adult voices. I was confused and scared, so much so that I had to call up a hooker to comfort me. I mean my girlfriend, and only on Friday nights, where she charges me $25 an hour. But she's such a businesswoman, and I love her for it. Alright, I know that I'm getting off topic here, but to be honest, it's kinda hard to stay on topic because not a lot has actually changed from the last game. Truthfully, what will decide if you buy this game or not is honestly if you enjoyed the story of the last game, because pretty much everything else has stayed the same. And I enjoyed the story, so I was very happy with my purchase. Well, I guess a few things I can talk about. Well, some new enemy types do appear, and they do provide a little bit of variety. The enemy AI is a lot smarter than it was in the previous game, and the enemies hide and take cover, and I think that's very good. I do enjoy the moral choice system in the game, where it never tells you if you made the right or wrong choice, instead letting you play acting solely on your own opinion, rather than some vanity wheel telling you what's right and what's wrong. The guns are pretty much the same, but instead of the automatic shotgun in the last game that saved my damn ass, this time I happened to get my hands on a fucking 4-barrel shotgun, and if that sounds kinda overpowered to you, that's because it is. That thing owned everything that dared to get in my way. Of course, I only used it on the super beasts in the game and used the silenced Kalash for most of the human opponents in the game. But still, you have some fun makeshift weapons in that game. Honestly, the game is only hard as you can make it in most cases. If you want to see how hard this game can get, play it on its hardest level and only use a non-silenced handgun. And let's see how far you make it before you start crying your eyes out. As I said earlier, the game is graphically nice to look at. Although the same character models are used a few times, but that's hard to notice. But one thing that isn't hard to notice is the amount of rainbow sweatpants so many of the characters in the game are wearing. Trust me, if you play the game, you'll notice it fairly quickly. And sadly, to much of the game's detriment, Omen from the last game doesn't retain his fine sense of humor, and the only comic relief is placed by a guy named Pavel. He's not as funny, but it still makes the story interesting. Anyway, it's time for the game to get a score. And the score of this game is, you guessed it, is a 2. It's a worthy sequel to its predecessor and continued the story aspect of the game, and I look forward to the next Metro game. Definitely a buy for me. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about some spoiler shit that pissed me off in the game. Here's a small spoiler here, blah 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 blah. I'm going to show you a bad gameplay function. You see this tank here? Well, this tank is an oddity in the game. This tank represents bad game design. Why? Why, you ask? Because it incorporates a tactic that had never been used in the game before and totally will never be used again. Here you are instructed to take out the tank. And that's it. They just tell you to take out the tank. But they don't instruct you how to take out the tank. And if you think it's like every other enemy in the game where you just shoot it till it blows up, well, you'll be fucking wrong. Now, that would be perfectly fine if it was just to take out the tank, but no. This requires precision shooting on certain parts. You shoot the gear, you shoot the wheels, and then you shoot the top. Now, nowhere else in the game is this tactic used. You don't just throw a person into new gameplay mechanics and don't explain them. I only died like once or twice before I figured it out, but it was a frickin' pain, and I thought to myself, why is this here? And why is it set up like this, and why isn't it explained well? Now, a lot of you may be saying, well, you must be a fucking dummy just not to figure it out. I'm not saying that I can figure it out because I did. I'm just saying that to throw a person into a new scenario without properly explaining it is bad. Imagine if your girlfriend just said, have sex with me. Have sex with me. But she came to you in a fucking suit of armor, and now you don't know how to open it. Sure, you may find your way around that shit, but I promise it's going to be a pain getting there. Dick in middle, dick in middle. Dick in middle, dick in middle. Dick in middle, dick in middle. Dick in middle.